Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Empowerment with Elizabeth. Today I am here with my sweet new friends, Kylie and Hollan, and they are going to talk to us about their cheer journey and their experience at Navarro. So, y'all tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, so my name is Hollan Palmore. I am 18 years old. I grew up in Texarkana, Texas. It's a small town in the corner of Texas. And I grew up with two older brothers, and they're way older than me. So we're not too close, but they still like stay updated on my everyday life. I have three little dogs, and they're the best. I kind of grew up as a dancer. Like, my whole life, I've danced for 13 years, and cheer was never really anything that I thought of or thought I would ever get into until I kind of, like, drifted away from dancing, and I was also a gymnast growing up and drifted away from that and kind of got reeled into the cheer world, and since then, I haven't really looked back. And then I also grew up in pageants, which is how I've met you, and I did pageants for about 4 or 5 years, and yeah.
I love it. I love it. Kylie,
Well,
tell us a
I'm
bit about
Kylie.
yourself.
Okay, I'm Kylie Shores. I'm 18. I grew up in Long Island, New York. Um, yeah, I grew up with my brother and my sister and my nephews and my nieces and a big family. Um, yeah, so I've basically been doing cheer my entire life. So it's just a big part of my world. That's really all I do is I eat, sleep, breathe, cheer. So
I love
that's
the
really
honesty.
all.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, you are from far away. Was that
Yeah.
like
So
culture
far.
shock coming to Texas?
Yeah, it was definitely also the complete opposite. Like, she's very
Oh,
Texas.
yeah.
I'm like,
Big adjust.
yeah, like we still catch each other saying words. Like, she'll be
Mhm.
like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oil? You mean oil?"
And coffee? Don't even get us started. She says
Coffee?
coffee, not coffee.
It's coffee. It's not coffee.
But yeah,
You have an
we
accent.
we both signed to Navarro on like the same day and didn't
Yeah.
know. I reached out to her on Instagram, and then literally the same day I reached out to her, I asked her what her favorite color was and what color she
We
wanted
said
her room, and we
pink,
said pink,
and
and then
then
we were roommates.
You're like,
But
that's all I need to know.
yeah,
Nothing else is important.
nothing else.
That's so funny. So you guys are roommates. I love that. So talk to us about, you guys' cheer journey. Hollan, you said that you grew up dancing. So kind of walk us through how you got into cheer, how that transition happened. And then Kylie, you said you've grown up, from a young age cheering. So kind of walk us through how that got you to where you are now.
Okay, so my mom, I was a really hyper kid, always jumping off things like really crazy. And so my mom put me in gymnastics first. And I did that for about 8 years. I was part of the TOPS program, which is the top 80 athletes in the country. And you kind of try out for that every single year. I trained really hardcore in gymnastics growing up. My coaches wanted me to homeschool. I never really got to that point. I would be leaving school in elementary school at 2 o'clock, leaving school early to make it to practice. And then it kind of just became really hard mentally for me to handle. And
Mhm.
so eventually I quit gymnastics and was kind of like in a stuck point and didn't really know what to do. And then that's when I kind of got into dancing. And I obviously had tumbling from gymnastics, but never really like thought how I'd use that again. And the place that I was dancing at the time had a cheer program, and they kind of pulled me in because they saw me like tumbling in the gym. I was a gym rat, and they're like, "Oh, like, you should cheer." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And so eventually they kind of just drugged me into that, and I started cheering and ended up loving it. And then I want to say like 2017, 2018, my coach showed me a video of Navarro and was like, "Oh, like, this team is amazing. You should go there." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I will." Didn't really think that I would. And then from there, I kind of did cheer and dance like on and off switching years. I cheered at a place called Cheer Elite All Stars. Wow, that was really hard for me to get out. Cheer Elite All Stars in Texarkana, and then I cheered at Twin City All Stars in Texarkana, and then in 2020, I was driving an hour to Shreveport, Louisiana to be on a team called Rebels, and then COVID kinda happened, and then when COVID happened, I stopped cheering and just focused on tumbling and dancing, and then yeah, then I'm here cheering again.
So I've always wondered how, because you're solo at Miss Texas. I was like, okay, she knows how to turn. And she just did a standing full.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. So it
Yeah.
makes
There's
a lot
both
of
in me.
sense. I
Mhm.
was like, there has to be a dance background there. Like, this is
Yes.
not a
There's a
girl who
big dance background.
cheered and like needs a talent and like
Mhm.
is just gonna whip up a dance. Like, I was like, this
Yeah.
girl has danced before.
I've mainly danced my entire life over cheer.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that. And then
Yes.
Kylie, you are the opposite. You cheered your whole life. So talk to us about, what that looks like for you and how it got you to Navarro.
Yeah, so basically, my town, we have like a youth program. So I, when I was in kindergarten, I had brought home the flyer. I was like, "Oh, I want to cheer, I want to cheer." And my sister was like very like tomboyish, and she was like, "I'll cheer too." And my parents were like, "What? Like, what do you mean you'll cheer too?" So then me and my sister started in the town program, and she ended up loving it also, and I ended up obviously loving it. We all knew that I was gonna love it. I was always front and center. And yeah, so basically we did that for a long time. Went to school cheer. I got pulled up to varsity in 8th grade. And then my sister found an all-star program through her friends called Platinum Athletics Cheer. It was about 25 minutes away from me. And then I would sit in the corner while they would practice, waiting for open gyms. So I'd go to these open gyms, and then I eventually started at their half year program for 2 years. And then after that, I was like, okay, it's time for me to do a full year team. So I tried out, I was on a level 4 team, and then a month goes by. They're like, hey, we actually are going to pull you up to a world's team. So then I was on a world's team, Pac 5, for 4 years. Um, I'm an alum now, which I'm really sad about, but I just got to see them at a competition that they were in Texas
Mm.
for. So I was really excited about that. And then one of the girls who was on Pac 5, she ended up going to Navarro 2 years ago. And last year she was like, hey, come to a clinic, just come try it out. So I went, and they were like, hey, let's sign. And here I am. And then about 2 months ago, my home gym, all the way in New York, called me. They said, hey, we have a competition tomorrow, and a girl just got hurt. We need you. So they flew me out, went and competed with them, came right back. So that's how I, that's my cheer journey.
I
Here I
don't
am.
even understand how that's possible. I'm like trying to think of like how that would compute to dance and like having to learn.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
to learn the whole
dance.
routine. Like I had one day, literally like 2 hours to learn the whole thing. And they're like, okay, compete 2 days.
Yeah, I remember like walking into the
Sure.
room and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to New York tomorrow." And I was like, "What?
Word.
A week? Why are you going to New York?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm competing this week." I was like, "Okay."
Got it.
Wow, that's fun. It was so much fun. I was so clueless. I was like, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? Everyone's pulling me places.
Yeah, you're like, no thoughts, just vibes. You guys both kind of mentioned it, but kind of talk to us about why specifically you chose Navarro. Sounds like you guys both got signed at the clinic, kind of on the spot. So, were you considering other colleges? Was it always just Navarro or nothing? Kind of walk us through that.
So for me, when my coach showed me that video, I kind of knew
Mhm.
like it's an amazing program. Obviously, like what they put on the stage is nothing less than great. And right then I knew that I wanted to be something a part of that, but I never really thought I would pursue it.
Mhm.
So I competed in Miss North Texas teen pageant 2022, I want to say. It was the year I got first runner up. And I one of the girls that was competing, her name is Sydney, and she at the time was like part of Navarro cheer. She was like, I was telling her how I cheer, and she was like, "Oh, come to Navarro Clinic." I was like, "Okay." Like I know who they are. I've been shown them. So I came, and that was my sophomore year. And then since then, I kind of just fell in love with the environment. The people are amazing. Everybody like wants you to succeed here, and everyone here is the best of the best from where they come from. So when you get here, you're constantly like you're compared to everyone because you're all the best when you come here. No
Mhm.
one is trying to beat you out at anything, and everyone's just so supportive, and it's such like an environment for me personally that is always uplifting you, and the people around you are wanting to see you succeed and they want to succeed with you. And that's something that kind of just drug me in. And I'm always asked like, why Navarro? Like what made you go there? Like what makes it so special? But like I genuinely can't describe how amazing this place is unless you are here. Like you don't understand it. Like I can explain it the best I can, but you don't understand the environment until you are here and like a part of such an amazing program.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like that's so true in any aspect of your life. It's just empowering to be around people who are as motivated as you, who are in some cases better than you at whatever it is that you're doing, because it
And,
just
like,
encourages you to do better.
yeah, and like we all want the same outcome. Like our goal coming here is to win at Daytona on the beach.
Mhm.
And knowing that everyone around you wants the exact same thing as you is just like so uplifting.
Yeah, I love that. Kylie, what you got? Anything on that one?
Yeah, so basically everyone's heard of the show. And
Yeah.
so that was during COVID year. And everyone loves it, heard of it. And I was like, oh my God, they're so good. I could never, ever do that in a million years.
That's the
And
spirit.
then, yeah, I was like, like in my dreams. Never really like a thought. I did not think anything of it. The plan for this year was to stay home, super senior on Pack 5, figure out what I'm gonna do later. I'm very like go with the flow. I have no idea what I'm
Mhm.
gonna do next. And so basically I went to the clinic. They were like, sign. I was like, okay, I got nothing better to do, and this is the best option. So here I am, and it's the absolute like just greatest family. And we all just love each other so much. And like just having all these different backgrounds
Yes.
is just like it's so I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like a feeling that like I can't wait to like be at Daytona with these people
Mhm.
and just put everything we have on the floor.
Mhm.
For both of our routines, we actually have 2 teams this year. We have game day and we have large. So
Exciting.
I'm so excited to see those 2 teams just like go out there and have so much fun.
Mhm.
And it's just like the energy that we create each day in practice, it's just like a feeling like no other. Like you can't even explain it.
Mhm.
It's just like
Yeah.
magical. Like it literally is magic.
I have like chills talking about like competing with everyone at Daytona because like the environment is really so like you can't even like explain it
Yeah.
unless you are like in the moment here because like we all come from all across the world. We have Ecuador, Norway,
Yeah.
France, like
Italy.
we have
Yeah.
everywhere you can possibly think of, like New York. Our other roommates from New Hampshire and Charleston, like we all come from totally different backgrounds, whether that's family, where you're from, like anything that you've gone through. And the way that we can all just come together, create the exact same energy and want the same things is just like crazy to watch and like something to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And Kylie, you mentioned, the reality show. And I guess I just wonder how you guys think that that has shaped the team and the clinics. Like what has changed that you know of? I know you guys are obviously in your first year, but how do you think that impacts you guys' team and you guys' day-to-day practice?
Well, the media definitely like impacts Navarro Cheer as a program, like as a whole. The good, the bad, like you're gonna get it all. Like
Mhm.
the things that go on here go on everywhere else, no
Mhm.
matter what. Like everything's gonna get twisted one way or another.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, we do get like the like
We get the
bad
backlash
part.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get the backlash, but we also get like the really good out of it. So we do actually have like so many athletes that are just absolutely incredible that want to be part of this like special family.
Mhm.
So the clinics, like we just had one this weekend and there was just so much like crazy talent. And then you look at it and you're like, that's how they thought of me, like when I was here
Mhm.
last year. Like,
It's so crazy, like, being on the other side of
yeah,
clinics.
Mhm.
It's like that was us last year, and now
yeah,
seeing, like, the talent that comes in here from, like, totally crazy places and seeing these crazy skills, it's like, wow. Like,
yeah,
the show really, like, brings in the best of the best.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
But, like
I feel like whenever I was competing at UDA with my college dance team, we had never won before and we were second in the nation our first year. And then after that, seeing the clinic and like how many people had come in and just by hearing about us at nationals, I can't even imagine on you guys' level what the show has done to just absolutely like blow you guys' program up. I mean, I have people that ask me about it. Like, what connection do I have to I'm not even a cheerleader. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's close to Dallas, kind of. Like, that's what I know. But I
Yeah,
mean,
and it's
just because
like
they know I'm from Texas, so I can't even imagine for you guys.
yeah, it's like one like, we sin because of the show, we have, like, such a big spotlight on us.
Mm.
It's kind of like all of the hate and all of the love and support that we get is kind of just like a fire for us, and
Mhm,
we take all of the hate and we take all of the support and use that into our routines to make us win at nationals. And
mhm.
that's like what this program is all about, being able to turn something bad into the good, being able to turn things that people like to twist or the things that people love about us, being able to turn that into a routine and show the heart that we really does have is like what's so incredible about here.
Yeah, I love that. That's super special. Okay, final question. If you could give one piece of advice to a girl wanting to be recruited and sign at Navarro this year, what would it be?
Ooh.
I know
I
it's a
would,
tough one.
yeah, I would just honestly say like confidence in what you're doing. Like when you come to a clinic, they're not looking necessarily for the best skills that you could possibly doing. They look for potential. They
Mhm,
look to see that you are someone that they can turn into being great. A lot of us, like I'm mostly a flyer and she's mostly like a
Mhm.
tumble girl. A lot of the flyers came in not really knowing
Mm-mm.
exactly what they were doing. And they just kind of like went with the flow. And now like they look back a year ago and they're like, how did I not know how to do that? You know?
Mhm.
But the coaches really do know what they're doing when they recruit and they just see potential. And if you are a coachable athlete, like that is all they look for in you is that they can see something great being like coming
Mhm.
from you being a part of the program.
Yeah, the biggest thing is your attitude.
Yeah.
When you come in here, you have to be, like she said, a coachable athlete, and they don't look for the best, like, they really do just look for potential,
mhm,
and if this like, you know this is something that you want, you can dream about it all you want, but you have to be willing to put in the work, and we practice every single day. And you have to be mentally not only mentally strong, but physically strong, wow, to do that, and I think starting training yourself mentally over physically is, like, the biggest part about coming here, and just trust the process, because
Absolutely. Yeah.
you can come to so many clinics and they still cannot say anything to you, but that doesn't mean they're not looking at you, that doesn't mean they're not watching you, that doesn't mean, like, the next day you're not gonna get an Instagram DM from one of our coaches
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, come here." Like, you just have to trust the process because they know what they're looking for because when they look at the team for next year, they're thinking about what vets right now are leaving. Like, are
mhm,
we losing more tumbler guys or girls? Are we losing more stunner boys or flyers? Like, what do we need to make the next year's team successful to keep up the legacy? And so they are going to bring in what they need.
Yeah.
They're
mhm,
going to bring in, if we're losing 5 tumbler girls, they're going to bring in 5 more that are just as good, if not better.
mhm.
And you really just have to trust the process and focus on like what is needed here at that very moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really all about like the puzzle. Like what is the right puzzle of Navarro cheer? So
Mhm.
they're just gonna look for those pieces and
Fill it in.
fill it in, make the best puzzle, and hope for the best at Daytona.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you guys so much for coming
Thank
on and
you.
chatting with me about you guys's, cheer background and, helping educate me on what the heck the cheer world,
Mhm.
what's going on in the cheer world. Because goodness, I'm just a little dancer over here. I don't know.
I feel
So
that.
yeah, right. Yeah, Holland feels me a little bit there.
Talk
Um,
about all-star cheer, and she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I honestly like
yeah.
when you talk about cheer to me, I'm like,
She's like,
"What?"
"What?"
You can talk to me about dance all day long, but cheer, I will be confused. Just because 'cause I'm here doesn't mean I understand everything about cheer because I
Holland,
don't.
look, my favorite team's on. She's like, "Who is that? Who is that? I don't know who
Literally.
that is.
You're like, do we like them? Are they good?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
yeah.
Are they good? What do they do?"
That's
I
me.
love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Y'all are the best.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Of course, and I will see the rest of you guys on our next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.